Statement 1. Reporting is also an independent activity, and firms are moving towards automating it to reduce manual intervention and thus become timelier and more accurate. Statement 2. Overreporting is also a danger, and hence the Treasury policy must stipulate the formats, recipients, and frequency of regular reporting. Right again. Statements 1 and 2 are true is a valid answer. It is the capital source in many countries and suppliers of useful investment products and networks, wherein the Treasury's relationship with this external stakeholder for both origination and investment is directed under Treasury responsibilities. You're right. Financial institutions is the correct answer. The value-added Treasury Center concept takes off from the basic TC, forecasting, risk management decision-making, investment decisions, funding and liquidity sourcing, and intercompany funding, systems, control, and reporting, all moving to a decentralized location. Sharp thinking. False is the right choice. It deals with the generates appreciation within Treasury for the integrity of well-laid-out processes, which ensures that other roles and external service providers are also active in making the end-to-end financial supply chain run smoothly and efficiently. Nicely done. Process orientation is a solid answer. It is an excellent measure for keeping track of the amount of debt that a company can potentially borrow, based on that portion of its accounts receivable, inventory, and fixed assets that are not currently being used as collateral for an existing loan. You got it? Your choice borrowing base usage percentage is right. Weak forecasting also enables a robust risk management process. The core aspect of management of a firm's risk is to manage its future or expected cash flows and balance sheet positions, which is effectively the forecasted financial value of the firm. Excellent. False is a brilliant choice. Liquidity is one of the most critical elements of the Treasury manager's domain, and ensuring liquidity through as many internal means as possible is one of the biggest challenges and wins for the treasurer and chief financial officer. Yeah. Correct. True is the right answer. Treasury team members need strong interpersonal skills, and given the different interfaces that Treasury has with external and internal organizations, their interpersonal capacity is crucial, especially in relationship management. Well picked. Relationship building is the correct answer. If Treasury is a cost center or a benefits center, whether it needs to be an active or passive Treasury, all aspects must be established in advance, and Treasury strategy must specify the goals accordingly. Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer. The different relationships and collaborations that Treasury needs to build to add value to the organization. Thus, without the necessary amount of coordination, the Treasury would not be able to add value. Good job. Your answer teamwork works well here. The accounting staff generally handles the receipt and disbursement of cash, but the Treasury staff needs to compile this information from all subsidiaries into short-range and long-range cash forecasts. Correct response. Cash forecasting is the most accurate answer. It ensures the business is accurately tracking its daily sales and payments in an effective manner, while also having sufficient liquidity to meet both expected and unexpected financial obligations. Perfect. Treasury management is the correct choice. Stages in Treasury centralization: I. Complete decentralization. Centralized netting and hedging. Centralized working capital management. Centralized investments. Exactly. I makes sense and it is right choice. The outsourced model of the Treasury works in a rather simple way, and it's outsourced the process focused on non-decision making activities and keep the dash, review, and ownership in the house. Smart move. Decision making is an accurate answer.
The Treasury staff uses the information it obtained from its cash forecasting and working capital management activities to ensure that sufficient cash is available for operational needs.
Well done. Cash management is the right choice. It is possible to outsource many Treasury tasks and functions, and many service providers provide reliable, flexible, and highly regulated levels of service across various levels. Great thinking. Service providers is the right choice. It refers to assess the Treasury's functioning, similar to a fitness test for the human body, to identify potential pain points and prevent any significant potential breakdown. On track, Treasury fitness is the correct answer. It safeguards the existing assets, which calls for the prudent investment of funds while guarding against excessive losses on interest rates and foreign exchange positions. Smart pick. Treasury management is the correct choice. It must be done in right quantities, such as the acquisition of fixed assets, purchase of raw material, payment of expenses like rent, salary bills, interest, and so forth. Solid response. Deployment of funds is a valid choice. You are posted as dealer in Forex Treasury. On a day, your branches have reported purchase transactions which exceed the sale transactions. You are said to be in dash. Right choice. Overbought position is the best answer. It refers on creating the right processes, structures, and approaches at the right place with the right infrastructure and, of course, the right people. Well reasoned. Treasury design is the correct choice. These gains and losses can be quite large and would initially appear to be a good way to judge the hedging activity of the Treasury staff. Excellent choice. Unhedged gains and losses is the right answer. Treasury culture involves finance and job-specific items that are core to the functioning of a well-rounded Treasury team, except strong choice. Written communication is the right answer. Statement 1. Risk means uncertainty, not necessarily losses. Statement 2. Risk management is not necessarily about lowering risk. Valid point. Statement 1 and 2 are true is true.
It is referred to the activity of identifying risk and reaching a state of risk that is required to achieve desired objectives.
Good thinking. Risk management is the right answer. It refers to enable an atmosphere of knowledge and positive teamwork to ensure the highest work and motivational standards. Great job. Treasury culture is the accurate answer. It ensures that a company has sufficient cash available at all times to meet the needs of its primary business operations. You chose Treasury Department, and it is correct. Statement 1. Risk management is the umbrella process. Statement 2. Risk reduction is only one of the ways to manage risk. Nice work. You chose statement 1 and 2 are true, and it is correct. Treasury deals are normally done over phone or over dealing screen. The deal terms are confirmed in writing by dash. Clear logic. Your choice back offer is sound and 100% true. The Treasury Manager must ensure that the funds are available with the organizations in sufficient quantity. Bravo! Availability of funds is the answer. This metric is relevant only if the Treasury Department is responsible for the granting of customer credit. Right again. Bad debts as a percentage of sales is a valid answer. Have available various alternatives to invest any excess funds at the highest possible returns refers to. Smart move. Asset management is an accurate answer. A company can have its bank receive and process checks on its behalf, which is termed a right choice. Lockbox service is the best answer. Which among the statements is not a general consideration of account structures? Perfect. Inflows are used to fund outflows is the correct choice. The 4 aspects that need to be considered in treasury management activities are: Bravo! Amount, currency, time and place is the answer. What are the key components of an effective financial risk management framework? Nice work! You chose all of the above, and it is correct. What are the controls that should be implemented for proper treasury management? Correct response. All of the above is the most accurate answer. Among the statements are the qualities of treasury culture, except good thinking. Communicative is the right answer. The principles of management include of the following, except on track. Planting is the correct answer.
What are the major components of a cash management system?
Well picked. All of the above is the correct answer. Policies are the basis of the operation of a treasury. Great job. True is the accurate answer. What are the main functions of treasury management? Great thinking. Maintain bank liquidity is the right choice. What is not the aim of liquidity management? Sharp thinking. Hedging the risk of interest rate changes is the right choice. It is responsible for a company's liquidity. Valid point. Treasury Department is true. What is the purpose of capital management? Well reasoned. All of the above is the correct choice. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Nice selection. Contact Narayan Changda is the correct and valid answer.